Since 1982, stock market geometry has been researching the little-known aspects of technical analysis. When the commonly used and beaten-to-death indicators were found to have little value, the focus shifted to more arcane solutions. Some of that research has been presented to the public since 1993 in various formats, including courses and videos. This video will explain an application of Gann theory, known as price by degree, including its correct scaling and harmonics. This technique is based on letters Gann wrote to his students in the 1950s. These letters, and the related charts, are included in Bradley Cowan's book, The Rare Writings of W.D. Gann. The letters are titled, Soybean Price Resistance Levels, and Coffee Santos. The best-known example of Gann's price by degree is his 1949 May soybeans chart, where he plotted the longitudes of Mars and Jupiter on the daily soybean chart. Price by degree equates the longitude of a planet with the price of a stock or commodity. For example, if Mars is at 270 degrees longitude, that equates to 270 points. Prices closely followed the longitudes into the top. There are more subtle aspects of this chart that may be explained in future videos. But for now, we focus on how to use cycle timer to plot and correctly scale price by degree and its harmonics on any chart. Cycle timer 2.4.1 is used to open a May soybeans chart during the same 1949 period Gann used. Geocentric is selected to match Gann's chart. Price by degree is selected from the top menu and Mars and Jupiter are both checked. The red line is the longitude of Mars, and magenta is Jupiter. You can see the price trend followed the Mars longitude into the top where Mars conjoined with Jupiter at 30 degrees Sagittarius. We now apply this same technique to a contemporary chart of the daily S&P 500. This is an updated chart that was used in the previous video showing Gann's diagonal angles. After that video was posted in early September, the S&P dropped down to the 45-degree angle, then rallied back up to the 1/2. Again, the correct scaling of 6.5 trading hours per day is needed, as shown in the previous video. Heliocentric is used and price by degree is selected from the top menu. Mars is checked. It's easy to see from this chart where the support and resistance comes in. Especially powerful trend reversals occurred where the price by degree aligned with the diagonal angles. Gann's letters also divided the 360-degree price by degree into 180, 120, and 90-degree harmonics. To do this in cycle timer, the Tools Format button is clicked and the Price by Degree tab. The Mars cycle is selected and 2 is entered into the subdivide box, effectively dividing the cycle into 180-degree harmonics. If you are interested in the 120 harmonic, enter 3 here. Thickness of the 360-degree line is changed to 2 to easily distinguish it from the 180-degree line. Click Save and close the window. The text in the upper left of the chart now shows Mars 180 heliocentric, which includes the base tone of 360 and its first harmonic. You can see how the 180 harmonic defined resistance and support, especially at the major tops and bottoms. Next, change the harmonic from 180 to 120 degrees by dividing the 360 into 3. Take a minute to see how this harmonic pinpointed the smaller movements within the larger 360 cycle. The examples so far have used a simple scaling of 1 point in price for each degree of planetary movement. But, as we showed in the previous video on the price-time vector, correct results requires correct scaling. Gann's Coffee Santos letter provides the clues for scaling his price by degree. He scaled Jupiter at 12 points per degree, and Saturn at 30 points per degree. To study this scaling we open one of our favorite indices for all technical analysis, the New York Composite, or NYA. Saturn is selected from the Price by Degree button. You can see that this cycle is so cluttered that it is of little value without the appropriate scaling. Click the Tools button. Select the Price by Degree tab and enter 30, as shown. 4 is entered as shown to subdivide this cycle into its 90-degree harmonics. It's easy to see that this price by degree cycle, when scaled as Gann described, has defined the growth trend since the 1982 bottom. Next, select Jupiter from the price by degree. Again, this cycle is a big mess without scaling. From the Tools formatting window we change the scaling to 12 points per degree, as Gann said. We show the first harmonic by dividing the cycle in half. Notice that the Jupiter and Saturn cycles moved in harmony with the trend. When prices briefly moved above one of the lines it was contained by the other, such as the multiple tops in 2021. You can hide the Saturn cycle if you wish to see only Jupiter. Clues for the correct scaling of the inner planets can be found in Cowan's book, Pentagonal Time Cycle Theory. Figure 8.6 in that book showed that Earth-Venus conjunctions move around the Sun in the Fibonacci ratio of 1.6, forming the five-fold symmetry. Each conjunction is 216 degrees from the last, or 360 times phi. After 5 conjunctions they return to the same location in the zodiac. Reopen the S&P daily chart and compress the bars to show at least back to the 2020 COVID panic. Select Venus from price by degree. While this cycle shows some correlation with turning points, it doesn't match overall trends very well. Venus needs to be scaled to the Fibonacci ratio of 1.62, which we do. The first harmonic is added and the 360 line thickened. Now the correct trend channels can be seen, with prices oscillating between the 360 and 180 lines. The correlation of correctly scaled price by degree with price trends is much greater than with the commonly used moving averages, such as 200 days or 200 weeks. Analysts picking an arbitrary moving average would be better served using one of these natural correlations, and trying different planets, and the moon, to experiment with scaling on different charts to find the ones that work for his markets. Gann's letters also applied the mean of the longitudes of the planets to price trends. There are 3 types of means: geometric, harmonic, and the one Gann used, which is simply an average. Each longitude is added together and divided by the number of planets being summed. He used several combinations and gave them names such as cycle of 8 and mean of 5, which leaves Mars out. For example, we select Earth from the price by degree menu. With a higher priced index or stock, the vertical spacing between each of these red lines is a complete 360-degree circle, or 360 points. Price ranges less than 360 will have no more than one longitudinal line. This is important to understand because when we average in another planet's longitude, a movement in one planet's longitude from 360 to 0 will affect the average. To make this clear, we add Mars to our chart and click the mean to average these 2 planets' longitudes, shown on our chart as the green line. But watch what happens to the green line as the chart is scrolled back in time to September 22, 2021. The green line shifts 180 degrees. That is because on this date Earth crossed the 360 point to 0 longitude. Earth's longitude can be seen in the data view by clicking Earth on the lower toolbar and dragging the crosshairs to that date as shown. When 0 degrees is averaged with the magenta Mars line instead of 360, the average of the two shifts 180 degrees. This problem is easily solved by including the first harmonic, or 180-degree line in the tool format window. When this is done you can see there is no longer any shift in the average when Earth crosses 360 to 0. But what happens with 3 planets? Say you are averaging Earth, Mars, and Jupiter. If you show the 181st harmonic, the average will shift when Earth crosses 360. The solution is to divide the 360 average into 3 parts instead of 2. Following Gann's instructions, we add the 5 outer planets with Mars left out. He called this the mean of 5. The individual planet cycles are hidden, as shown, to reduce clutter. Don't forget to click Save after you check the hide box. The 181st harmonic is also shown. And there you have it. Gann's mean of 5 with Mars left out in the contemporary S&P 500. You can add additional planets to arrive at his cycle of 8. If the color of the average line does not show up well against your chosen background, it can be changed in the Planetary Cycles tab in the Tools window and rearranged as desired. After changing the cycle line color, click the scroll bar to refresh the screen using the new color. If you found this video useful, please subscribe below to be notified when new material is presented, or review the material at cycle-trader.com. There you will find several years of unique real-time applications of Cowan's and Gann's tools, expanding the horizons of technical analysis with a different way of thinking. As the great General George S. Patton said, if everybody's thinking the same, somebody's not thinking.